Have you ever thought about using trading bots? I used Bitsgap in the last bull market and turned $1,000 into $50,000 within a 5-month period. I documented the whole process and put it in a playlist if you want to see that, along with other training videos and tutorials how to set bots up and make the most of the volatility of the crypto market. If you sign up with a link in the description, you'll get a 7 days free trial with no obligation to continue, and you can also use a demo account within Bitsgap so you don't have to risk your own capital. Bitsgap! Hello everybody, welcome back. I'll make the quickest video I can find in myself to make, alright? So there's not much to say. So what we're seeing, this is Bitcoin obviously, and we're seeing a retest of a death cross, right? So this is sort of what you'd expect once you've had a death cross. So there's your death cross on exponentials, there's your death cross on simples. We had a retest of it here and a pullback to the Bollinger Band center. It broke out and then hit the 200 simple 1, 2, 3, and then pulled back and went down for a lower low. So we're seeing the same sort of thing happening again. We had this rise from this area, which again was your Bollinger Band center on the weekly. This is your 200 simple, sorry, a 21 exponential moving average, which has caused quite the wick there. And so we've risen up, and over the last 24 hours we've hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. So 5 candle bodies rejected all at the same time, at the same place, sorry. And the support being this 10 exponential with a trajectory like this, and again, you know, our 200 exponential looks a little like this, forming a ascending triangle. You could also look at this, which is your 200 simple moving average, and then you could think, okay, well, if this is where the 10 exponential is going to be, and maybe we rise up to there, then we've got a symmetrical triangle as well, which gives us a support of roughly around $65,000, and which means that this is the bottom of the triangle, this is the top of the triangle, and again, supports and resistances get smaller and smaller and smaller until the end, and towards the end of the apex, we'd expect a move to have happened. Now, I think this move is going to break out one way or another sooner than the apex, and again, this apex comes in at the 6th, which is really tomorrow. So we are looking for a move over the next 24 to 36 hours, a breakout in one direction. I personally prefer. It's not that I prefer, I personally expect downtrend on this one, because technically this is still downtrending, you know, this is a trend, you know, my main thing is about trend, strength of trend, you know, when you come up to a resistance like this or like this, you know, these are areas that you'd expect a rejection from, just like when we go bullish after a golden cross, you know, that's what we'd expect to see when you get your first golden cross. So, you know, just examples of that would be, okay, here you go, here's your golden cross, here's your retest of it, that's your buy zone, and you buy it. And that, you know, the last one on the 4-hourly marked us in at $27,000, so not bad gains if you were to have bought that. And again, you'd be looking for the same sort of thing here. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get, you know, 50% wiped off the price of a Bitcoin. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about trend, right? And I'm talking about resistance, and that's what it is. So this is the inverse of a golden cross, and a golden cross is usually a trend strengthening, and you know, a death cross is also signs, not signals or guarantees of a trend strengthening, and so you'll be looking for this to continue down for a little bit longer. No, it doesn't have to happen, so just, I know what you're saying, So, let's have a look at the momentum, which, to be fair, you know, it's just matching price action. So this is a natural consolidation from these tops. This hasn't given us bearish divergence on the way up on the 4-hourly, nor has the money flow index, and nor has the MACD. So, with the absence of bearish divergence, it makes me wonder that, you know, I would say it's relatively likely, to be honest with you, quite likely that we actually do move our way up to $65,000 to the top of that trend line, that 200 simple moving average before our next rejection. And again, moving over to the daily, this is still a consolidation. This is nothing more than consolidation. It's exactly what you'd expect to see as consolidation. And yeah, you could make the case that we have broken out on the daily here. Now, look, we need traditional markets to continue. I find it very hard to accept that Bitcoin's going to move up while stocks move down. Now, stocks might not move down. I'm just going to show you something here. So stocks might not move down. We are hitting a horizontal and a 200 simple moving average. Again, death cross retest is what we're looking at here on the stocks. Now, before the close, we actually hit it and had a sharp rejection from it. Then we had a buyback. Now, when we open this next week, when we see the S&P continuing, this area here, exactly here, this is where we decide whether or not we're bullish or bearish on all markets in the short term. Again, I'm not willing to take positions and go crazy on anything right this moment in time for crypto, because we are looking at maybe opening next week with a sharp pullback, nothing more than a lower high, and then causing a lower low. I think that's the most likely scenario. But again, there's two sides to every story. And the other side is that the daily, it did close above the Bollinger Band Center. It did close above that 20 daily, which makes it look like it could, might not, but it makes it look like it could continue. But again, I'm not convinced until I see continuation above these 4 hourlies, because it's the 4 hourlies that are showing death crosses, and it's the 4 hourlies that are having their death crosses retested, despite the higher term time frames still remaining bullish. The 4 hourlies are going to be the first place where you would look to see any kind of change of trend. And again, if you zoom right out to your weeklies, you will say quite confidently that this is an uptrend, which it is. But you go to a 4 hourly and you'll say, well, hang on a minute, maybe there's a change of pace here. Maybe there's a change of direction, because we are seeing strength of trend building to a downtrend. And this, if it continues, will carry forward into a daily, which again, the daily currently stands bullish. Same thing with Bitcoin, ever so slightly, but it still does stand as a bullish chart. And again, this is what they say. This is what we can see. This is the truth. But a 4 hourly is saying, I think I might start the downtrend, which will then cross over to a daily and possibly over to a weekly. So look, nothing's cut and dry, nothing's black and white. I know that some people want that. There's nothing that anyone can say to these sort of people who tune in looking for an exact answer. There is no exact answer, especially when you're seeing changes in trend. That's when things get tricky. That's when you might start thinking, well, one day you're bullish, one day you're bearish. What is it? What's going on? Well, there's a reason for that. It's because different time frames show different things. And the 4 hourlies suggesting bearish, the dailies and the weeklies still maintain bullish. So how can you hold two polar opposite biases at the same time? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they're two completely different time frames. Imagine saying, I am bearish on the 1 minute chart. I'm bearish on the 1 minute chart, but I'm bullish on the weekly. That you can understand that, right? Can't you? That makes perfect sense, because what does the 1 minute chart do? It goes up and it goes down all the time, very quickly. So you could be bullish on the 1 minute chart and bearish on a weekly, or the opposite. That's what it is. So when the comments start coming through saying, hang on a minute, you're bullish and you're bearish, what the hell are you talking about, man? I says, yes, two different time frames, two completely different analysis, because the weekly is still massively bullish on Bitcoin, way down to, believe it or not, around $31,000. That's right, everybody, $31,000, still bullish all the way down there. That is going to take a little bit of thought from Noob Master himself. How can you be bullish when you lose 50% from today's price action? How can you? Because it's still a bullish setup, baby. That's why. It's still a bullish setup. So look, that's the deal. That is it. That's your Bitcoin for you. Believe it or not, you can still be bullish while retracing 50%. You can still be bearish while in a giant macro uptrend. You can have a variety of different biases based on different time frames. So stand back, admire what I've just said. Let that sink in. 4 hourly, bearish. Daily, weekly, monthly, bullish. What does that mean for price? Personally, we'll need traditional markets to open up, but I'd be looking, if this is really what you want to know, I'll save the best for last. If this is my expectation, I'd expect this symmetrical or descending triangle to play. So we either see a move up, down, break down, or we see a move up, down, break down, or possibly break out. Again, it's a formation trade, isn't it? Which means that you need to see the resolution of that, the resolve, before you can relatively confidently call the move. So at the moment we're stuck within a formation with a bearish trajectory on the shorter term time frames, suggesting yes, next week we'll either break down or break out. I think the momentum looks like on the short term it wants to move up before it moves down, but this is still bearish, so I'll move up and then a breakdown, and a lower low is coming. That is it. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.